talkers. I like to call him the warrior or the conqueror. According to Nati Rom, there is a divine war in the world between good and bad, and the land of Israel is at the center of that battle. The battle, in his view, is not about territory or land, but about those who hate the Jewish people because they are Jewish. Nati Rom first came to the Heartland when he and an army friend finished their army service and decided they wanted to serve their country. They simply drove into the biblical mountains of Samaria and stopped when their car broke down. They stayed there for 18 months, building a small community near Shiloh. Others soon joined. They started to build and plant vineyards. Villages developed. Nati's whole life is dedicated to these main points: focus on Jewish identity, settlement in Judea and Samaria, legal advocacy, land redemption, promotion of religious Zionism. Here with me today, an honor. Hi, Nati Rom.
Shalom Adassa, good to be here with you.
When did you have time to come? You have so many things.
I just came from the court. It was an interesting day today, and it's my privilege to be with you here today.
I have so much to talk about that I have to divide it. So I want to get to know a bit who is the real Nati Rom. Where does he come from? We met in a previous life in Italy. Tu parli italiano?
Un po', sì.
Sì, parli bene.
Abbastanza bene.
Vedi? He talks Italian, the guy. Hebrew, English, Italian, French.
Yes.
Okay. Where were you born and how, what
I was born in Shaare Tzedek in floor 6, in Yoldot Bet it's called.
Okay.
And my father was in security business for Israel.
Security
is doing good things for the future of Israel, and we were a lot in Europe. I didn't like Europe so much, I'm sorry. I was in Milano and it was too gray for me, and I missed the land of Israel. And when I was about 12 and a half, I left my parents and I came here to Israel to be alone in Eretz HaKodesh, in the Holy Land of Israel.
You grew up in a family where you were already used to hearing about being completely devoted to the land of Israel.
My parents came from France, left everything they have to Kibbutz Sha'alabim, to live here with a lot of ideological Mesirut Nefesh. I don't know how to translate it in English, maybe you will help me. For the land of Israel. They didn't care about money, they didn't care about the future. They care about helping the establishment of Israel, and they did a lot for that. And
so
a lot of my work is in their inspiration.
When you moved to Europe, you were how many kids were you at the time?
We are 3 kids.
3 kids.
I was there alone. My brother is bigger than me in 10 years. He was already here in the army.
And your sister?
And my sister also was here in Judea. Yes, in Judea.
Okay.
And that's it. This is how everything started.
You were used to seeing your father not home, basically, because you were.
Yeah.
He was.
This part we will not go into the details, but yes, of course, we live a lot. My father was working a lot abroad, and we.
How many years were you in Italy?
2 times. One time was 3 years, and the other time was 4 years.
Okay. And then at what age you decided that that's not for you?
Around 13, around my bar mitzvah.
Your bar mitzvah was in Israel?
It was both in Cellini in Milano and in Israel.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So you come back to Israel, you're 13, and you decide that's it.
Yeah, I went to the yeshiva tichonit to learn school and also Torah studies. And in a certain point started the Oslo Agreement.
The Oslo Agreement.
Yes, and I was very active.
You were 15?
I was 15. I was very active in doing demonstration and to try to fight this plan. When I was 16, I decided to leave. It was very hard to my parents, but I decided to leave the school and to go to...
But you were a troublemaker.
I was,
so
yes.
they're probably very happy.
But a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't finish my exams. They were worried for my future. And I went to Yeshiva Gvoha. In one hand, I wanted to learn more Torah in a significant way in the Yeshivat Ramat Gan. It was a special Hasidic new yeshiva in Ramat Gan. Also to influence our brothers and sisters who are not believers. It was very meaningful for me, and also to work more for the land of Israel.
So your father, you came from a religious family though, right? Always?
Yep.
Okay. And what happens after you finish yeshiva?
So I went to the army. I was involved those days also to open new places in the heart of Israel, in Judea and Samaria. And we always speak in Judaism about the triangle of the three important things: the Torah, the land of Israel, and the people of Israel. Those are equal three very important things, and I wanted
that are all connected.
That are all connected, and the nizonim echad mashani. They are feeding each other. And I wanted to be a pioneer in those three fields, so I went to the Torah to learn more Torah, and I was very involved in reaching out to Israelis who are going to India, and we had their homes who are reaching out. We have Shabbat meals with 300 people, amazing experience. And also then, when I came back to Israel, they came with me, and they were coming also to the villages and to the ranches that I established. So it was a very beautiful things to see, and I miss that part. And today, more than ever, we need this. We need the tribes to talk to each other. And thanks God, I did a smart decision after my military service to start new communities instead of doing for myself, as we say in Hebrew, to do money or to do or to travel around the world. We decided we want to be significant and to do something significant for the land of Israel and for the people of Israel. And we went to Shiloh, the biblical first capital of Israel.
Which is the real capital of Israel. It's in the heart.
For 369 years, it was the first
That's where the Mishkan
capital, where the Mishkan, the tabernacle was, where the prayer of Hannah, the first time the Bible described a prayer, it was there.
Right.
And people who doesn't know their history cannot hope for future. So we wanted to connect to those places. All the places full of archaeological findings of the Judges' time and Jewish places over there. This is our homeland. This is the heartland of Israel.
You're saying people come to Israel and they go to Tel Aviv and they go to Eilat and they're missing the real deal here.
Yeah, I have a good friend who is a pastor in one of the communities, and his father loved Israel, and he came every time to Israel as he loved him. And when he came to Israel for 7 times, and he said, I wanted to reconnect to the heritage of my father after he passed away, to understand what it's about Israel, why he loved so much Israel. Yeah. And he came to Tel Aviv, he came to Haifa, and he didn't connect until he found for the first time the pioneers and the heartland of Israel, Judea and Samaria. Wow. This is the real Israel. Many Jews and non-Jews are coming to Israel, as you said. They are going to Jerusalem, going to Tel Aviv, but they don't feel the heart of Israel.
But I want to make something very clear here now. When people say, what rights do you have to go there? This is not your country. This is not your territory. You're invading. Say it once and for all. This is territory C, and it's ours completely, and nobody should have any doubts about this.
Let me approach from another direction. If you believe in the rights of Zionist movement and the Jewish people to live in Israel, the connection to the land, it's much stronger in Shiloh,
right,
than other cities like Shiloh, Jerusalem, Hebron. You know, there is the Talmud said there is 3 places the nations cannot say it's not ours. Shechem, that it's written in the Bible that Jacob bought the place. Abraham, who bought the Makpelah tomb in Hebron, and Jerusalem that David bought. So those 3 places today are the most attacked. Everybody attacked them. All the haters of Israel, they attacked, our enemies attack those points because they understand that this is the real connection, the roots of our connection to the heartland of Israel. And once, God forbid, they will try to disconnect us from there. So all the other cities are second degrees. So it's not only that it's ours and it's the promised land and it's by the Torah, by the history, by the laws, but it's also the roots of our history. This is the first connection, the first covenant. We just passed Kitavo, the covenant in Har Ebal and Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal in Shechem, in Nablus. They do a beautiful covenant over there, and Joshua bin Nun said to everybody, go and heritage the land of Israel. This happened in Shechem, this happened in Shiloh. And if you read the Bible, if you believe in the Bible a little bit more than fairy tales, so of course you need to be connected to those places.
So we didn't throw anybody out. It was always ours. It should be very, very clear.
Mark Twain in the 18th centuries, an anthropologue, came here and he said it's a dreary and heartbroken land. The place was almost abandoned. Every time I'm interviewed in the studios of the big channels in Yafo and in Tel Aviv, I always said it's hard for me to come in here because those are Arab structures who were occupied, were taken. We didn't took any private land. We didn't took any homes or something like that. As happened in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv. 90% of the place over there, it's empty, waiting for the people of Israel to go back and heritage the land of Israel.
Incredible. You venture yourself the first time with your friends, you were how old?
I was around 22.
Okay, and you go there, what's going on there?
So we didn't have a lot of plans. We took a lot of food from it's called rations. We took the food, the special foods of the army, who can last for a long time. We took some water supply, some books, and we bought a car and we started to drive. There was not even a road, and after 7 kilometers, the car was broken, and we stayed there for a year and a half.
In the car?
In the car, no electricity, no water, in a place called Kulitzun, called Zion, the voice of Zion. Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing experience. There is a video from those times that my brother took, and he is today the CEO of the region of Benjamin. And I explained to him, here there will be a home, here there will be a school, here there will be the kindergarten, here there will be the mikveh.
Which probably people thought you were crazy.
And everybody thought I'm crazy. But today, from those crazy 4 boys, we have hundreds of families who live there, including a so-called already a legal village, Amichai. And it's there is a road, there is electricity, there is water. It's another.
You took me there, and it was incredible to see. Esh Kodesh is where you live, right?
Yeah.
That's something that you built.
We were 4 young boys who started the communities over there. We founded.
You gave the name.
A friend of us, Elazar Lebovich, Hashem Kondomo, a commando unit, commando officer who was killed in an ambush from a terror attack. His parents, in this time, live in Hebron. He's going back to Hebron. And he is killed from an ambush. His parents, by the way, live today. We have a privilege that 2 brothers and his parents are living in our community today. Mm-hmm. He is the guy who is good in names. Fantastic. And for example, he called Adead forever. He called the place. Nice. Those times we were calling the hilltops in the name of the altitude, like 803, 930, and things like that. And we have the privilege to establish around 7 new villages. And then once we live in a cave, then we live in a bus. So we did in the Red House, it was called.
The car that you lived became a museum piece.
The bus.
Yes. Where kids play there now.
Yes.
Being scared was in your vocabulary, or this doesn't come?
For sure. Also,
you were armed, of course.
We were armed. We were very scared. We need to guard in the night, working in the days to build the shelters and bringing animals and agriculture. We started to put vineyards. It was an amazing time. We always were joking that we are working much harder after the military than in the military.
That's for sure.
And working in the night and during the days, we were digging biblical time wells. I always say to my friends when I speak about it that we dig wells, we find circles in the ground, we dig them, and then we find a whole cistern from the judges' time. We find coins from the Second Temple time. I always say to my American guys, we have evidence of that we are indeed occupiers, as you said in your introductions. We are occupiers here for thousands of years. I think 99.9% of the historical science world agree that this was the land of the Jewish people. Yeah. And there were a temple, and there was a Mishkan, there was a tabernacle, and all the other stories. So we have the privilege to renew that.
Incredible. So inspiring. When I go there, I see those families living there. They live in very dire conditions. It's pretty hard to live there. Not everybody can do that. Like, you got married, you have a family there, you got used to it. Is it impossible, like, to live in such conditions?
There are a lot of obstacles, and it's important. You ask me if we are afraid. We are afraid. You can go to it's important that people and your viewers will come to see it in their eyes. When you go there and you see that the Arabs, they don't have nothing to be afraid. Children, women, and men are walking, harvesting the land without bulletproof cars, without special windows or something like that, because they don't have anything to be afraid of. But we are afraid, and this is something very hard, especially to my children, to acknowledge that they, in their homeland, they cannot go freely in the streets like the Arabs does. Even in Jerusalem, I can give you that many people are afraid to go in certain areas and in certain times, and this is one of the things that we are very, very sad of.
Were you attacked yourself?
Many, many times.
And you had to fight them back.
My children and I, in the car, we received 3 Molotov cocktails, throw a small bomb on us, stones you cannot even count, hundreds of terror attacks every month in Judea and Samaria. You will not hear it in your media. But this is the situation. This is also something that a challenge that we need to do with our teenagers who are very, very worried, and they see what is happening. They see our brothers and sisters who are killed. Nobody give any reaction.
I wish people would see what I saw when I went with you. You go around there and you're like a king, but everybody knows you, and you know the Arabs there, you know the police there, you know the people who live there. They all know you. You're like one big family. You don't have there's no hatred. You don't feel hatred. Even you have Arab friends there, right?
We don't hate.
Exactly.
We are not racist, and we don't hate nobody.
That's what I'm trying to.
The opposite. We love people. I love cultures. I love different kind of people, and I love to mingling in this and to have this experience. And I always say to my children, you see this beautiful village in the front of our home. It's an amazing village. I wish I will be able to go there without being afraid of my life. Times were different before the Oslo Agreement. The Shiloh, Tulmus Aya, the village next to Shiloh, the operator of the phone was in Tulmus Aya. Somebody is calling Orit, so Muhammad is answering and say Orit is in shopping. She cannot answer. Or they went to each other marriage and things like that, and events, going to the same taxis. Something in the process. They always hate Israel. The radical Islam was always against Israel. We see it also in Hebron. Doctors who were treating the locals, Arabs, for free with a lot of love were killed and tortured in Merot Tarpat. Unbelievable things. It things that we as Westerns, I think we cannot understand why they hate us so much. Yeah. We can't understand how a human being can be so cruel and kill children and women and men. It's something this is why we don't react in the right method. But after the Oslo Agreement, when we give them a horizon or a vision that they can continue with the terror, kill more Jews, and maybe to win us, it's become harder and harder, and especially now with all the anti-Semitic organizations who are helping them abroad, right. All the EU, even Christian organizations like World Vision and International Council of Churches who are feeding Hamas 57 million euro here, or the ambassador of Holland and Germany who go to the villages around us and they are feeding Hamas. They give money to terrorists who want to kill Jews, and it's a hypocrisy, and we need to stop that.
Not only Hamas is also killing its own people, like the Palestinian who wants to live in Jerusalem and just have a normal life cannot do it because Hamas will.
They want to escape from their dream. It's not to live under Hamas.
Exactly.
Their dream it's not to live under even Fatah. They want to live in the more democratic place. But if they will say so, they will be killed. I represent.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yes, I used to represent 57 Arabs who were tortured, real tortures. I mean, some of them cannot bring children to the world. Real, like in the movies, real tortures by the PLO, by the Palestinians, because they suspect they help Israel or they sell a land to a Jew or something like that. This is real tortures, and we send a letter to 230 registered human rights organizations, including Amnesty, and nobody replied. Nobody replied. They don't care. They want to fight Israel. Amnesty said, I was on a live TV show when the host asked Amnesty why they don't help me. They said, we don't have the means. The biggest human rights organization don't have the means to help in real tortures. But when it's Arabs who are killing Jews, they will do whatever they can to help them. And this is hypocrisy. This is the same old anti-Semitic organizations who are in a new disguise of human rights and other things.
So this is exactly what you say. It's not about the land. It's about Jewish. It's about Jewish identity.
All the story, listen, I am amazed. I'm traveling a lot in the world, and every time I'm putting the TV in my hotel or I drive with a taxi driver, they speak about Israel. It's a phenomena that everybody needs to understand. It's not about occupation. It's a divine war. Iran doesn't want to kill us because we have any border dispute. They have a clock for the elimination of Israel, 7,000 kilometers from us. Why they want that? What is the obsession? The obsession is divine. It's from the Bible. It's the same reason why Haman, Amalek wanted to kill Israel.
Exactly.
And the same story of the book of Esther happened here today again. And we are seeing that more and more.
We need Mashiach.
We need Mashiach today.
But I'm seriously meaning we really need Mashiach. I think Mashiach is the only thing that can.
Absolutely, we need Mashiach, like but we also need action and to do whatever we can to bring him and to bring redemption. I always say that the Sodom and Amorah, the Dead Sea, it's the lowest place on earth, and where God chose to create the lowest place on earth, in the heartland of Israel, in the Promised Land. We can be in the lowest of the lowest or the highest of the highest. It depends on us to bring Mashiach.
And unity.
And the first step will be to be sincere, to say the truth. Even the left, they also believe in many things that we are saying, but they are afraid to say it. And they are working because they are afraid from a practical point of view. But this is very, very important to start to say the truth. The Romans started to change the names of the cities in Israel, Palestina, Novo Capitolina, Nobles for Shechem, and we need to go back to our roots, Judea and Samaria, Shechem, the biblical names that God created the world with words. So also those names are very, very important, and not to forget the roots.
How many lives have you lived? You're still young. What are you going to do in what's going to be in 40 years?
It's my birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday. We're going to see a Nati Rom in politics maybe one day?
I feel that my influence behind the scenes are much more stronger. Unfortunately, a lot of my friends who went to politics, I see that something is changing in their minds. So I'm trying to stay young and to be involved in what I believe are the most important things today. I started to be in the front line. I always wanted to be like in the real deal and not to deal with things that are like second degree.
Wow.
And I hope that God will help me to continue to be young in this way.
So after Esh Kodesh, once Esh Kodesh becomes official, you're just going to move to another place?
I hope. It's already there. I always say to my family and to my friends that once it's already established. No? Esh Kodesh is going to be in any future program. Everybody understands that it's an important area. Hundreds of state land and vineyards, but it's absolutely it's time to move on and to start more. Also for my children, we'll see how it's supposed to be. You need to. The Rebbe said always, you are never reaching your goal. You always need to continue to do more than you can to bring Mashiach and to bring redemption.
The Rebbe believed a lot in was pushing a lot the agenda of Israel and Judah and Samaria. So you're really working the right way. Nati, keep safe.
Thank you so much.
This is very important, you and your family. I really think you guys should check this place out. Esh Kodesh, when you come here, it's not Tel Aviv, it's not Eilat, it's not Yerushalayim.
And you're more than welcome. You can be in touch. You can also publish my email and my number, and you can connect. We do tours in the heart of Israel. It's very, very important that our brothers and sisters, Jews and non-Jews, will come and see in their own eyes those beautiful and historical places.
How do you say it in Italian? Fratello, eh?
No, fratello. No, devo parlare più in italiano, così sarà più facile per me.
Thank you so much for coming to visit us.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Lots of atzlacha. I really hope you were inspired. Check out all the information on Nati Rom, and when you come to Israel, get in touch with him and make a nice, beautiful tour of Shiloh and all its surroundings. Have a great one. Thank you.